My name is Njiiri. I work with Njiiri Jpiego, a project called Advanced Family Planning, and basically supporting a number of counties. I work as an advocacy advisor, and Fanikisha Foundation is among projects or organizations that we work together with because our implementation as Advanced Family Planning, Kwale was one of them. My passion as a person is basically based on, besides having the young people on board, I like speaking about facts. What does data tell us when it comes to young people? Why is it an important thing for us to even capture and continue engaging when it comes to numbers and providing information that are relevant? And I'm keying in this to my career life, and I've seen how numbers are very, very critical. Back to Fanikisha Foundation. When we began the journey in working together with Fanikisha Foundation in 2016, that followed a result that had just been released by KDHS. And Kwale County was one of those counties that had the highest number of teen pregnancy as a burden. I would say they were at 24%. 24% actually placed them among the top 10 leading counties when it comes to burden of teen pregnancy. And so our efforts were like, how do we come in as advocates to work together with this county to see that there is a difference that is going to come in terms of helping young people and also just reducing this number. Why is it critical for us to even look at teen pregnancy and the burden within the county itself? This is very huge. And so when we found out that Fanikisha was in existence and they were ready to actually dig deeper even into this data and identify what are some of the challenges beyond this number that we are able to see, we realized that this is the team to work with. I want to point out a few challenges that we actually pick to the young people. There's issue about stigma. There's issue about dropout of school. There's issue about this new life generation, because the moment you're pregnant and you get out into the society, people are not looking at you as a young person, but in mind and even in your strength as an individual, you're still young, but they expect a lot from you. So Fanikisha came in so handy, and I love the way they pick two key things into their implementation with support from AFP. What are these two key things? The multisectoral engagement. The multisectoral engagement came out so strongly, and it has been demonstrated in the work that they've done, because they decided and said, this is not a health problem alone. When you talk to people in school, they have issues. The number they enroll at the initial stages at class 1, for example, is huge. By the time they're reaching standard 8, we do not have 100% transition, meaning it affects education in one way or another. You look at homes, how many babies are born with HIV infection? Because the moment a child has been born in an unprotected sex, definitely the chances of HIV, definitely the chances of STIs transmission, and the growth of this child is deteriorating in one way or another. So the nutrition aspect is also affected, and that goes back to the community. So it's a community that is weak because of one burden that we were seeing as teen pregnancy. It leads to a remarriage. The economy is affected. So Fanikisha felt that this is one way they would be able to run with this agenda and even move it forward. So the multisectoral engagement encompasses a number of individuals, and these individuals really played a key role. We had the education camp, we had the health team, we had the judiciary, because some of these pregnancies, it's not their wish. It could be out of rape, it could be out of forced intimacy and a number of all this. So the judiciary was playing a very key role in this part. We had the police, even just to offer that protection of this child who has been defiled, but they are not able to speak about it. So that police aspect also played a very key, important aspect. We had the youth, and also we had the gender aspect. So all these teams, when they were brought together, they realized they had a community. And this community, they had to move and just make sure that they're able to speak on one one same data that they are having. So besides the 2014 data that they are having to talk about the burden of teen pregnancy, they needed to pick exactly which particular area within the county that are having issues more than the other. Kwale County is huge. There are a number of constituencies, there are a number of sub-counties, and different areas have their own unique issues that could be contributing to this burden of teen pregnancy. And so Fanikisha took it upon themselves and ensure that they have up-to-date data. So in 2016, we had new data that was telling us that particular school had this number of dropouts. And the dropouts were basically not only for the girl child, it was also for the boy child. Meaning, it is important for us also to see if a boy drops out of school, what could have been the issue? Because we may be assuming it's all about pregnancy, but there are issues that are more deeper than that teen pregnancy. So the actualization of that real data in 2016 that Fanikisha collected gave a drive to this multisectoral engagement, and everybody played their role following the development of a multisectoral action plan. Another aspect that I also want to say about Fanikisha Foundation is how they drove the return to school policy. This is a national policy that was put in place, and out of all the counties that are there, everybody would pick what they want to run with. Fanikisha felt this need for us to also run with this. So if you give birth at the initial stages, it doesn't mean your life is coming to a stop. We've seen so many people go back to school. They are professors today, they have their earnings, and yet they gave birth. And if you look at their children, they're almost the age mates. Some of them, you meet them and you're like, is this your sister or your brother, something like that. So that tells you they had an opportunity to grow even after that baby. And so Fanikisha took it upon themselves and identified the individuals who had already dropped out of school and made sure that they get back to school. So the return to school policy was a critical component or a data element that was included in the local data collection tool. So every school was able to say, as we begin the year in 2016 first term, what number do we have who dropped out of school? And as we are closing the year, what number have we had who have returned back? And are they able to continue with their education? Are we able to revive back the 100% transition from class 1 when we reach to class 8? So that one brings a very different dimension when we come to issues of handling teen pregnancy within the county. I also remember how we engaged with Fanikisha to just ensure that the most unfortunate young people who are not privileged even to get the education got the opportunities through Fanikisha, provided the sanitary pads. That was very, very important. Yeah? Sometimes you look at how young people are getting frustrated because of small, tiny things. It is small on your face, but in real, actual sense, you realize sanitary pad has a lot that plays into their psychological setup. And so when Fanikisha felt that this is something they would do, supporting that process was one of the key things that we really felt was important, even to strengthen the return to school policy. As we speak now, we are into 2023, but basically I want to talk about the results that we've achieved from KDHS 2022. Remember when I started the conversation, we were speaking about the 2014 KDHS, and burden of teen pregnancy was at 24. With all the intervention of all the stakeholders who are involved, we are speaking about 15%, 9% reduction in a period of 10 years. It's huge. It's huge. So it means a lot has been done, and we believe with the support of local implementing partners like Fanikisha, it has really produced a lot of impact. And if we go down into even getting to the area specific, trust you me, you will even be able to see a lot of difference when it comes to change. So some interventions look small, but the impact is huge. And remember, when you turn to one girl, you're able to reach many more, because there's something that is called peer pressure. Many of these peer pressures, sometimes we look at them as negative, but they are positive peer pressures that are bringing change. For example, if your sister dropped out of school and stayed at home because they gave birth, and another girl dropped out of school but realized she needed to go back to school, and then they say, I'll be carrying my baby back to school, and so I have two bags. One bag is my baby, the other bag is my school books, and I want to learn. Definitely the other one will be encouraged, and they will all walk to school as mothers, speaking the same thing because they share the same burden, but with a vision that tomorrow they have to make a change. So Fanikisha, continue with great work that you've been doing. And I believe many of the organizations, both locally and internationally, are really going to borrow what you've done, because not only are we able to speak of what you've done, but we are also able to see and even statistically define the results that has been done. Thank you.